back, Manoj. Thank you for joining us today at Men's Day Out. Manoj, it's been 6 months to the case, and a lot of people want to know what is the progress been so far. As a father, you have been relentlessly fighting this in the court. Where do you stand today on the same?
Arnas, it is 173 days now, and I've been counting the days. And from the time it really started off, in the initial days, the start of investigation was very, very slow. But I see some progress now. And a good number of people have been questioned. And one of them is a major. I mean, I can name the major, but I don't want to name the major because he will ultimately meet his destiny in some way. And the phone numbers of all the accused, I mean, girl number 1 and girl number 2, have been taken by police into custody, and they have sent it to the forensic lab. And the police has been filing a status report every 2 weeks as mandated by the magistrate. So we get to see some kind of progress week after week. Though the pace is far slower than what we would have liked as parents. I mean, as a parent, we would want instant justice. I mean, if you can term it that way. But nevertheless, I fully understand that the hands of the law are tied. The judicial system can take some time. And we are being very patient. And the magistrate also has time and again pointed to the police that they can do a better job in trying to hasten up things, and which has been put on record as well.
Right. Last week, there has been a considerable progress in this case, and which is why we are talking today, is when there has been an anticipatory bail granted to the girl, the accused number 1 per se. What do you think of this particular stance that the court has taken? Do you think it is going to hamper the case in any way with regards to her presence not being there in the court at all?
See, I mean, as on date, 2 girls have applied for anticipatory bail. The first girl was granted interim anticipatory bail, and which after 2 weeks was made absolute. So in 2 weeks' time, the magistrate sort of gave her the bail. And the second girl applied for bail only on 20th of this month, and which we strongly opposed. And the public prosecutor also strongly opposed granting of bail. The police strongly opposed granting of bail to this accused person. And we ourselves presented lots of cases where judgments were passed by lots of courts saying that in a circumstance like that, bail need not be given. And but then the magistrate, in her wisdom, did decide to grant the bail. And I think it will send a very wrong message to everyone that the bail has been given, and the bail should not have been given. I mean, it sort of goes on to show that a girl in our society, I mean, she can get away with anything. She can murder someone and get away with it. And so technically, I think it was a very, very wrong step.
Right, and this also happened when you were present from your side, but neither the girl or her parents were present at court. Am I right?
Yes. In the case of girl number 1, her parents were present. In the case of girl number 2, I mean, they decided just not to be present. Neither the girl nor the parents or whatever, and only their lawyers were happy to present their case, and they were confident that they would get the bail. I mean, as simple as that. Yeah. Otherwise.
Yeah. Can you elaborate what exactly has the court order said while granting the bail in this case?
See, unfortunately, I think the law is pretty well established in cases of bail. I'm told that even if somebody murders someone, you can get bail. I mean, in the Jessica Lal case, I mean, somebody got bail without much of an issue. So, and in this case, the girl happens to be a girl, and technically she's a minor. So there's a lot of soft corner in the whole system, in the whole system as such, to grant them bail. and it's very tough for us to show that or speak about that the bail should not be given, because when we say that bail should not be given, it's more from an emotional point of view. I mean, we feel that our son has been wronged and bail should not be given, because I believe after the bail has been given, there'll be an effort by the girls who will get slightly more stronger, and they could really hamper justice. In fact, the girl number 2 has already gone on record on Instagram to say that please delete all the messages which I've sent you. So she's been tampering with the evidence from day one, and today is day 173. So she will tamper with the. She could really subvert the whole judicial process.
Right. Well, and you said the police was also in favor of not granting bail to these accused. So, do you
Yes.
are you trying to imply that they have got considerable amount of evidence against the girls, which is why they were objecting to the bail as well?
Obviously, I believe the police has questioned a lot of people by now, and maybe that number is 6, 7, 8, or something along those lines. And obviously, the police must have got certain amount of inputs from the people they have questioned, and that is why they were they didn't want the bail to be given. And Arnas, please understand, who takes bail? A bail is, I mean, taken by someone who fears arrest. A bail is taken by someone who fears that they've done something wrong. If the girls had done nothing wrong in their lives, I mean, they had no reason to take bail at all. They didn't have to fear anybody. So girl number 1 takes bail, girl number 2 takes bail, and so the girl number 2 right now has got only interim anticipatory bail. It comes up for hearing on 27th again, where we will again present the case that why she should not be given the bail. And if they still want to give the bail, it's okay. I mean, after all, as a common man, I cannot question a magistrate. The magistrate is absolute in her wisdom to grant bail. She weighs the pros and cons of giving bail. But my only question is, if she does something wrong again of a similar type once again, who will be responsible? I mean, I would like to ask that question to everyone. Okay, if they repeat this again, and these people are in some way, at least the girl number 2 is a repeat offender. She's done this this is not the first time she's doing it. She's done it on prior occasions also. So if she repeats, who will be responsible? And if one more life is lost, who will be responsible?
Right. So what next? You said the next hearing will come up on 27th of this month. How do you see
Yes.
the case proceeding now?
I believe the police will also question a few more people, because they have not fully questioned all the list of names which we had which had come to our notice. So there are a few more names which they can address, and the fact that girl number 1 and girl number 2 went ahead and have applied for bail is proof enough of their involvement in the whole conspiracy.
Sure. As a father, Manoj, how do you think people should be addressing this menace of social media, and especially when it comes to naming and shaming boys? What do you have to tell people today? Because, today, even after the death of a boy child, people don't really want to talk about this. What is your message to them?
See, I mean, my message to everyone in this regard is that crimes which originate from social media must have social punishments to start with. I mean, what I mean to say is that if someone does something wrong on the social media, I mean, there should be a concerted effort to keep them away from social media. That's the first punishment which should be meted out. Otherwise, I don't want them to send to jail or something, but at least they should be barred from using social media. And we did point this to the magistrate. I mean, the magistrate also was wondering, yes, if we do bar them in some way, how will we enforce them? I mean, maybe you put them into a cage where there are jammers around and they can't use social media, as simple as that. Or maybe there are jammers installed outside their houses and their school so that they can't use social media. I mean, just like you have got jammers for mobile phones. I mean, you install them in movie theaters so people can't really access them. So, and this is a new development for all of us. I mean, none of us faced this, let's say 5 or 10 years back. We didn't face this menace of social media at all. And I think some necessary changes will be brought in due course before, let's say, another case like this hits us all. And in this case, both the girls have acknowledged that they did put the post. I mean, the accused number one says that. The accused number two says that the accused number one also did tag Manav, and she did mention that in her application for bail. The accused number one still says that I had nothing to do with it, and so they are trying to sort of wriggle out of the whole situation. So, and if let us say if for a moment we accept that the accused number one is 17 year and 6 months old, okay, so she's not exactly a small doodh piti hui bachchi. I mean, she exactly knows what she was doing. So if she is not responsible, then maybe her parents need to be held accountable. I mean, as parents, they were equally responsible. In fact, the SIM card which the girl was using is in the name of her mother or one of her parents. So the mother is equally complicit in this whole thing. I mean, she lets her mobile to be used, and the girl creates an account on Instagram or maybe on 20 other social media. I do not know which other. And if the girl is doing something, I mean, the parent also is equally responsible for it. And this is what we also pointed to the magistrate. The parents in India, you cannot take a SIM card unless you have an Aadhaar card, etc. And these SIM cards were taken maybe about 2-3 years back, so they use the documents belonging to their parents. Okay, so in some way they have forged the documents. I mean, they have sort of not adhered to all the norms. So that is also one thing which maybe somebody should look at.
Right.
How can you
believe this case is not just restricted to Manav's case, but it opens up a larger debate, because young children today are prone, I mean, either it is a boy or a girl. How do you control this menace of social media is something the judges and the system really needs to think about. Because today, let's say you're accusing a major, a man who is an adult, he perhaps may be able to take these kind of allegations. But when we are dealing with minors who are children, somewhere there needs to be some kind of restriction that needs to put into place. Lastly, I want to ask you, Manoj, in your case, do you think the system or the way the progress is happening would have been faster if you would have had a girl child compared to the situation that you are in today?
I mean, obviously, sometimes I do feel that if there was a girl involved here, there would be a lot of people who would take out candle marches, gather at India Gate, and be doing a lot of things of those types. But I think the law should be the same, whether it's a boy or a girl or any other gender. I mean, it is not right that just because a boy is involved here, we are all trying to hush it under the carpet. I mean, they don't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. And Manav was our only child. Okay, and it's not my fault that he happens to be a boy. I mean, it could have been a girl as well, or it could have been a boy. So I don't think we deserve to be punished just because Manav, our son, is a boy. So it's very unfair the way everybody is looking at it. And unfortunately, I also see that the media also has, the mainstream media, to be precise, has not taken too much of an interest in this whole thing. I mean, sometimes I think that it is because most of the advertisements come from, let's say, women-oriented products, so they don't want to upset that little segment. But I do find that lots of women, I mean, including you and other sensible women, have stood in support of Manav because they believe that a wrong is a wrong is a wrong. I mean, just because a wrong is done by a woman does not make it, or a girl does not make the wrong any more lesser. I mean, it's a wrong. It could have been done by a man, woman, child, an old man, an old woman, an elephant, or I mean, whatever. Yeah. So it's really unfair that some people look at it as if it's a battle I'm carrying against, let's say, women. I mean, I don't need to. I mean, I have a wife, I have a sister, I have a mother, and I'm as much as a man-oriented person as I'm a woman-oriented person. So the people should stop looking at it whether it's a boy's case or a girl's case.
Sure. And before I end, Manoj, I just want to ask you, how is the family coping up after 6 months? Have you got back to normalcy? I understand it's very, very difficult to, I don't know what is justice, what does it mean for the family, but how have you been able to come back to normalcy?
I mean, we've not been able to come back to normalcy, if you put it that way. In fact, today morning I was, as I was picking up something from the table, I called out Manav's name. I mean, it was to me, he's somewhere around here. I mean, to me, he's maybe sitting and studying and doing something, Then it dawned on me that, oh, he's gone and he's no more along with us. And then I gave my papa a hug. Yeah, I mean, to me, he's Manav's image we have in the house today.
Right.
That's it.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know what to say, but I just hope that wherever he is with you all, and we'll keep following the case with you, and we'll be talking to you shortly again soon. Thank you for joining us, Manoj.
Thank you, Anas. Thank you.